So, I have been reviewing games for roughly 4 years as the time I'm making this script. By the way, this script is like fucking months old, so bear with me. And I gotta admit, pretty damn cool seeing how this community was able to grow. What's the hentai game equivalent of the Summer Games Fest, or E3 if you're a boomer, which is, Hentai Expo. My first ever collab with someone, me reaching half of 250 subs, which, by the way, I want to make a goal. I want to hit 250 subs by the end of the year. Please and thank you. However, no matter how long I've been reviewing games, the good, the bad, the atrocious, I always, go to, let's just say, not so savory sites.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a recipe. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are...
You know what I'm talking about. F95, Fap Nation, Hentai Gamer, and much, much more. Now keep in mind, if you are a normie perhaps, or you're just fairly new, there are legal ways to get these lewd games that I probably talk about, such as the likes of Steam, the central hub, I'm using central in very high quotation marks here, hub called DL Site, Manga Gamer, and much, much more. But like I said, for those who are regulars in the community, we don't go to those. In fact, dare I say it, piracy is practically the lifeblood of it. F95, Sukibe, and all of them are practically the main reason why the Western lewd gaming scene is able to grow as it is, regardless of what other lewd gamers might think. Now, we gotta understand why the main reason why we pirate it in the first place. It's mainly for a few reasons why. Number one, some of us would like to try before we buy, and number two, some of us were just not going to buy the game outright. Now, when it comes to the actual lewd gaming community, I made like a straw poll and posted it on the Discord servers and all that fun stuff. And in second place, 34 points were on piracy sites. I'm lumping in a Hentai Gamer. I don't know why the fuck I decided to make that its own option, but whatever. Of course, the biggest one was Steam. Surprise, surprise. But notice how piracy is just in second place amongst like the likes of DL Site, itch.io, and others. That's how it goes to show you how much piracy really does help out, or not really helps out, but has an effect on the lewd gaming scene. I decided to ask a H-game developer an interview and ask them these questions. Number one, how piracy has affected you, and either did it help or hinder you? Do you think piracy will have any real significant effects on the scene? And 3, do you think that the H-game scene will outgrow piracy? Now, I did get a single one. His name was Pyrotoaster. We had a nice conversation before my computer went to shit, but we never really got into the proper questions. It was just a lot of us just bantering and shitting on the Western lewd gaming scene. And by the way, I'm sorry you heard that. That was the sound of my clippers. But yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get any other people to be in an interview. But if I can find a way to reschedule an interview with him, I will happily post the full video with the head. And if you're wondering, yes, I am going to post clips of it. So here's just like a brief excerpt of us just having a full-on just shit rave on the Western lewd gaming scene while bantering. Okay, now we're recording.
Sweet.
Okay, firstly, introduce yourself and what kind of game you have and all that fun stuff.
Okay. So I'm Pyrotoaster. I'm like the lead developer, the writer, the game designer, the animator, like everything under the sun, basically. Currently making a little game called Sucker Punch. It's like picture like the best 3 hentai games, right? So picture like Summer Memories, fucking Summer Life in the Countryside by Diesel Mind, and then maybe just like a little bit of Summertime Saga, and then like some tissue box games in there. Like, combine that all together.
That's fucking rich because on F95, which is surprisingly like the main thing we're gonna be talking about, it's like labeled as abandoned, even though it's still
my
getting.
game?
No, Summertime Saga.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's funny.
Speaking of
That's really fucking funny.
of F95, the video I'm doing is a discussion piece on piracy and why it matters. While you're doing your kind of your routine, I decided to take a look at your game, and I saw that you had an F95 Zone account. So,
Oh yeah.
what made you decide to make the account? Because I'm assuming that you already had like an itch.io, a Patreon, and all that stuff prior, right?
Yeah. Well, so I know we just met, so you don't know much about like the shit that would happen with my game. Fucking. Let me start a little bit back. So your question was, what made me start an F95
Yes.
like account in the first place, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is before I even made a fucking porn game like at all. I played like first time I ever played a porn game was probably like 2017, let's say. Like not like first time I ever played a porn game, but like an actual like. This is what's being sold to people, right? Like this is a product, and this is like being backed by like Patreon or Subscribestar, like those kind of models, those kind of games.
Yeah.
That's like I've played like porn games in the past, like before, but it was like not an official capacity, like a Honey Select game or whatever. For me, that was like 2017. And so, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, fucking like seeing all these porn games for the first time on F95, because I was looking like this one porn game I can't fucking remember. I was like, oh, what porn game is this? How do I download this? Oh, that costs money. I don't know if porn games suck or not. So like, it led me down the rabbit hole of F95. And so,
funny enough,
yeah.
I originally started off with how I found my porn games through Fap Nation. Then my friend recommended me Hentai Gamer. Then before that, but then when you started recommending me for like I think like my 19th birthday, I'm 22 for example.
Yeah.
I already knew about F95. And funny enough, what got me into reviewing lewd games with actual gameplay was a game called Fortress of Carnal Lust. And that's what ultimately got me into doing this whole hentai game scene with actual gameplay. Because I realized, like, holy shit, this game is actually fucking good for a porn game.
Okay.
My first ever porn game I ever got exposed to is, I guess you guys would call it a bit of an OG. It's called Project X Love Potion Disaster.
No, never heard of it.
Really? You never heard of it?
Like I'm coming off the bandwagon of like, you want to talk a blast from the past. I came off playing.
Like, did it like help you? Did it hinder you? Did it like help get your games out there, or did it like it just helped you with general communication with your audience, stuff like that?
Oh, I didn't even start like the first question. I was even done that one. What was the first one about? Like, why did I start an F95?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, like, I made an F95 fucking account just to download porn games, and then like, I was starting to feel like I downloaded Honey Select, the fucking Koikatsu shit.
Yeah.
I did that, and then like, I was starting to feel a little bit guilty, just a little bit. I'm like, I'm playing a bunch of Japanese like fucking like DL site games. You know, those are proper products to me. Like at least the ones I bought, not the ones I bought, but the ones I played. Because you know, since I was new, I was just doing the cream of the crop. And so then I decided to start playing like the Western fucking games. And then like my guilt fucking like vanished, and I'm like, oh my god, Western porn games fucking suck balls. Like all of them. They're like, alright, not all of them, but a majority of them like are so fucking trash that it's no wonder why like piracy is a thing. Because the majority of it is shovelware. It's fucking shovelware. It's all just fucking porn games that either is one end of the spectrum, because it lacks the others, such as like it has programming but fucking terrible artwork, terrible fucking like nightmare fuel 3D models, like fucking DAZ models, fucking like it annoys the fuck out of me because like I have like
Welcome to the club, bro.
Yeah, seriously, I have like a fat amount of credentials when it comes to like art direction and shit, and like fucking like composition, like all that shit. And like I get so pissed looking at these like fucking porn games, and like the apartment is so fucking immaculate and clean, like it was like ripped out of a fucking like apartment floor plan, like 3D model.
They didn't even, they like, couldn't. No, I'm pretty sure they did it exactly like that shit.
Exactly, and. Like the question where the guy says something to the girl, the guy never remarks about like how hot the girl is, or like actually doing things to like flirt with the girl without it being fucking cringy. Because a lot of it too, I've seen a few like that, it's fucking cringy. And I'm just like wincing in my chair like with a fucking soft boner. I'm just like, this is the worst boner I've ever had. I'm turning this shit off.
Yeah, you know how I feel when I get fucking bait and switched to looking at NTR.
Yep. So that's why I stopped feeling bad with my F95 account. I made an F95 account to download games. I was primarily downloading porn games from the Japanese, and then like, you know, when you start to play all the games at the cream of the crop for a newcomer, you start to play like down the rabbit hole, and the cream of the crop is very fucking limited. It is very it's very sparse.
Yeah, it's very.
And the shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you can smell it.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's why I also, I also kind of wanted to do my YouTube stuff, because one, I wanted to avoid all the Renpy shovelware, and two, I wanted like to show the more out there games, saying like, hey, there's other stuff that's out there that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
And I think with like the Western lewd gaming scene nowadays is how the direction is. I think it's the shitty DAZ 3D, somewhat spineless main character. I mean, like it's like no, they kind of still have to go to a training arc, but they're not. I feel like the characters are not like complete pushovers.
Yeah. It's so fucking cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's like, I think that trend is also somewhat dying, but you know, they still need to have some kind of a training arc, stuff like that.
Yeah. See, that's it blows my mind, because like nobody's creating like a badass character. Like I grew up with badass characters, and then like I'm looking around and like I'm like, where the fuck are the badass characters? Where's the dude where you're just like holy shit, I can't wait to see the next thing he says, because that's your avatar in the game. That's basically you, and none of them are entertaining.
That's basically for the female protagonist.
Exactly. Like nobody knows how to be that guy. Like I mean not nobody. Like nobody knows how to write that character. And I'm hoping with my fucking game, it's gonna like open a lot of eyes to how like a fucking main character should be. Because we don't have to start at square fucking one. We don't have to start at a fucking shitty isekai. We don't have to start at a fucking shitty like I killed myself and like nobody likes me and I got reincarnated with a bigger dick, you know? like just make the character badass from the get-go, and we just go through his daily life like that. That's entertaining.
Truck-kun just fucking pulls up like, I'm sick of your shit, bitch.
Yeah, basically. So fucking sick of that shit. I want a character that I can relate to. Like there's no.
Now here for my opinion on the question. I think piracy has helped the scene somewhat a bit. Think of games like Spore, you know, which has been pirated to all hell and back, but surprisingly it still did very well. It's kind of like that, but on a bit of a smaller scale. Hell, this fucking show wouldn't exist without piracy. Yes. Number two, yes, it does. Places like F95, places like that also have like active forums, comments, fan patches, walkthroughs, reviews, and all that fun stuff. And three, I feel like as long as we don't have a better service than them, or hell, we find some way to properly have a one-stop shop for Lewd games. I know DL site is like a bit of a work in progress, but I mean something like more akin to say like good old games, if that makes sense, or hell, maybe even Steam. I'm pretty sure in some weird way, long years after the Lewd gaming scene is, I don't know, probably a force to be reckoned with, yeah, piracy will probably still reign supreme. But that's just my opinion. I want to see yours in the comments below. Honestly, I want to try my best to make some form of a discussion about this. And if you're wondering, by the time I'm making this video or I'm done editing or posting this video, I'll be at YomaCon 2024 with Fujifire. So if you want to see me in the flesh, please see me. Until then, everyone, good night and good luck.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share it with your friends, subscribe, and hit the bell for both uploads and community posts. Also be sure to follow Overlord on X and Pixiv.